Oh, it's a disaster over here.
Sounds like it.
Episode 209 of the Radio Impact Podcast.
Are we on 209?
We're on episode 209. It is April 16, 2020. 6:12 p.m. recording time. It is a beautiful 36 degrees out here in Pennsylvania. Where 2 days ago, it was 2 days ago.
Start all over. Sounds like you've been doing a couple lines of coke.
Doing what? I'm choking over here.
Sounds like you had a couple lines of coke before the podcast.
All right. Radio Inbound Podcast.
Checking in with Pablo Escobar.
Episode 209, April 16th, 2020. Recording time 6:13 p.m. now, Eastern Standard Time. Beautiful 36 degrees outside, where 2 days ago, here in Pennsylvania, it was 65. I was mowing grass. Today it was 36 and snowing. No joke.
It's been 90 up down here.
All right, you suck. Suck.
Had to head down to that resort you went to. What was the name of that thing?
Treasure
Golden Girls.
Well, I'm dying.
Thank you for being a friend. Dun, 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 dun.
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
Beach resort. Or was it Beach Club? Because there was a beach resort and a beach club.
I remember Beach Club. I remember you went to the club.
The first time or the second time?
First time or the second time?
What I mean is I went to one that was a complete dive, and then we made a switch. We called an audible, and we went over to the brand new facility that they just built, the beach. It was either beach resort or beach. Hey, Carrie! Anyway, beach, yeah, one of those two.
I thought it was Beach Club.
Hell of an opening.
Good stuff.
I got my seltzer water here. I'm all good. Ready to roll.
Oh, seltzer, huh?
You guys still down in quarantine down there?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Although you can kind of sense that this isn't going to last much longer.
I've said that today. Absolutely.
Like, you can see people are starting to lose their patience. Like, just everything is just, they're just kind of like, they're sick of it.
Yeah.
They're just ready to do what they want to do again.
Absolutely. I was just saying that to Carrie today.
Yep.
I'm saying there's this vibe out there that people are like, all right, we're done with this.
Yep.
And we're just going to go on with our lives, and whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And I don't think it's going to be long before they lift the restrictions.
Yeah, I mean, even the sports teams are starting to chatter about, what they're going to do. And, yeah, you can kind of see some of this stuff I don't know what the exact right way to say it, but it's just starting to turn the corner of people, just their patience, I guess.
Yep. I agree.
And they're just going to be like, you know what, screw this.
Yeah, whether it's right or wrong, they're still going to, you could tell. People are
that's the situation.
They are mandating that we wear masks out in public starting Sunday. Or Sunday night, I think. Yeah, so if we go to the grocery store or something, you have to wear a mask.
I wore my first one the other day.
I saw that. Was that Orlando Magic mask?
Yeah, Allison's aunt made that for me.
Oh, I need her to make me a Patriots one.
I know, it'd be great.
And a Lakers one. I'll take those.
Lakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's. I wore that mask. We got two grocery stores here. One's called Publix, which is the kind of better, nicer one, and then the other one is Winn-Dixie was right by us.
That's a roughneck one there.
And Winn-Dixie, that's where I went yesterday. Allison started cooking something. And she's like, hey, can you get something? I'm like, yeah, okay. So I put my gloves on. I put my Orlando Magic face mask on. And I'm walking around in there. I'm just going, I feel like a complete idiot. I'm like, this is so dumb.
Right.
I'm like, I cannot get into this at all. I'm like wanting to put my hands in my pockets because I'm like, I don't want people looking at my gloves. And I'm like, gosh, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah, I feel you.
But you know what? Nobody cared. They're just like, they understood. There's obviously other people, and yeah, it was. But yeah, just the whole thing. It's funny when Allison talks about when she goes to the store. She's like, I feel like people are staring at me like I'm that person.
Yeah,
like stay away.
But yeah, so starting Sunday, everybody has to wear a mask when they go out to these businesses. So,
okay, I'll wear mine.
Yeah, I need to get a cool one. I'm not going out there with these other ones.
Uh-oh, the questions are starting to roll in now for Tom. His buddies are starting to get in there.
Oh, all right. So who we got? We're gonna dial up Tommy on the JConcepts hotline. Wait,
that's right.
Hold on 1 second. Carrie's calling me? Yeah, we were trying to figure out what was the name of that beach resort that we were going to.
It was down there. It was called.
The first one we went to.
Oh, the first one.
Wasn't that Treasure Island Beach Club, and then there was a beach resort?
Yes. And we went to.
Which was the nice one? All right.
Beach resort.
Okay, beach resort.
Was the nice one. Beach club is the one that we went to the first time.
Total trash.
Let's not repeat that again.
Right. Yeah. Let's not get into all that. That's.
But I will say our methods before were always successful. This one, not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
Maybe it would have been okay if it was in a Georgia or South Carolina climate versus a Florida Gulf side climate. Remember, it was like 90-some degrees.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was too hot. First, the whole setup was wrong. The air conditioner wasn't in the right location to get the circulation. the whole. Oh, and just wait till you come back to your room after you've been at the beach all day and the sun goes down. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be cooler then, Jason.
But the whole point of the air conditioning is to cool off in the heat of the day, you stupid woman.
Yeah.
Am I right? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you want it to be cool whenever you come in there.
Yeah. Especially in Florida heat.
She said...
What's that?
Don't worry. That's what she said. And if that woman didn't say those exact words to me, we would have never got our refund because it was a non-refundable resort the way that I booked it.
Paid ahead.
So, and I said, the woman told me that she could not accommodate me in another room because they were all set up like this because they were being remodeled, and that I am to just leave the air on, and when you come back from the beach in the evening and the sun goes down, your room will be cool. And I'm like, the whole point is to get away between like 11. Isn't the hottest time of the day between like noon and 2 or something, and you're supposed to be indoors anyways?
Yeah, I think so. It was brutal. I can't believe we walked away from there and didn't take pictures of the room.
Yeah.
Oh, I can
document this.
It's burned in my memory.
It was
the bathroom alone had 3 different color schemes going. We had a green not plastic, but you know like that vinyl
bathroom. I'm picturing that bathroom that they had in the in Scarface.
It is. It is.
Is that the little checkered tile?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even smoothed out. I mean, it was like rippled because over the years they probably just like
lifted,
taken up the broken ones and put down new ones, and so it wasn't even smooth. It was like,
and it was pink
bad.
and white and some other colors, and it was great.
It was bad. So you had a door off the bathroom. So I guess if you came in from the beach, you can just slide in the bathroom, which it's a wet room. I understand that. You know, right there was the old bathroom, and then you walk into a closet, which is where the air conditioner was held. And the door to the bathroom, there was 2 doors that led into the closet, one to go into the main room and one to go into the bathroom. But the bathroom door was right in front of the air conditioner. So if the bathroom door was open, which it usually was, it blocked the airflow first off to the air conditioner. And then you had the second door that went into the main room that blocked it.
Yeah,
there shouldn't have been no doors on anything.
No, it was being totally blocked, so the closet itself was like ice cold. But it would never come out to the room, ever. It would never even have a chance to get out there and cool it down.
Right. And then it had a little kitchenette, which was on the opposite end, so it was like a horseshoe. So over there, it was like an oven.
Yeah.
Even though there was no oven. It felt like an oven over there because it was pretty hot.
Wasn't there like a little tiny oven? Like a tiny thing? Like, or just burners?
You know what? Maybe there was.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. And then shag carpeting. Everything, you know, it looked like from the 50s.
Yeah, and that couch, the kids sat on it and they stuck to it. Remember?
Yeah, we had to pull them off.
It was like a vinyl couch. It made that uncomfortable sound that you hear when you're like, it's really quiet and somebody moves on the couch and you're like, what the hell did I just hear?
It's like that plastic your grandma would put on her couch.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my gram would do that.
Yep.
My gram would put plastic down everywhere in the living room, on the couch, on the carpet. It was crazy, but that's what they did.
You're like, you know what? It smells like cobwebs in here anyway. So, like, why is that?
What?
Like when you go to old people's houses, they smell like cobwebs.
Cobwebs or
like mothballs?
Or mothballs.
Mothballs. That's what it is.
Oh.
I was gonna say cobwebs. They got a smell to them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Smells like death.
In the old days, that's what they used, mothballs, and I would never use mothballs today. I'd rather have the moths just eat my clothes. I never seen a moth in a closet. Are we? I mean, you're actually talking about a moth?
No.
It's not an actual moth in the clothes carry.
I think it's actually.
I'm gonna look this up.
That's where the cedar closets come from. Because if you have a cedar closet, it deters some sort of larvae, which I think. Who knows? It's microscopic stuff. I don't know. Maybe it got stuck in the sweater when you were wearing it and you take it back into the closet. Next thing you know, you got moths growing. Moths. That's a weird word to say, moth. Moths.
Here we go with the words again. Remember that? She's Rouds.
Yeah, Ruads.
I have I've never seen a moth in a closet, nor have I seen moth damage, but you always hear about this. Put mothballs in the closet so you don't get moths. I'm like, I don't know.
No way.
But I do know those moths, because if you go to the hardware store, you can get moth balls or moth flakes. And
yep.
I had my first house I bought had a spider issue on the windows. These black spiders with hard shells. It was weird. I was advised to put mothball flakes in the windowsill and close the windows. Mm-hmm. So it was like kind of trapped between the two window panes or whatever. It worked. It killed the spiders, but man, did it smell.
Oh.
It's very pungent.
I was going to ask you, it had the same smell as a mothball?
Yeah, it was very strong. In fact, it could take your breath away. It was that strong.
Yeah.
And I was using flakes. I wasn't using the balls. So I don't know if that's why it was stronger. You could take a mothball and shave it, I guess, like with a grater, get the same effect. But, and then of course I made the mistake of using my vacuum cleaner to clean out the windowsills then instead of the shop vac. So there went that vacuum.
Oh, because anytime you would start it back up, it'd smell.
Yes, it was.
Even
had a HEPA filter in it, and it just
destroyed it.
Took a while to get it out.
That's just crazy.
And of course, I'm like, this homeowner stuff is for the birds.
Yeah, screw this. Go back to renting.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was interesting.
Anyhow, but the whole point with the beach club versus the beach resort, it was sad that it happened because we did lose 6 to 8 hours that day just in the transit of getting everything switched over to the other resort. But we did end up at a really, really nice place. But had that woman not said that she could not, she told me to deal with the air conditioner the way it was, because that's the way it is in Florida. That's what saved me, was the way she said it. And I guess when the girl from because I did it through booking.com, she called to confirm that's what she said. And she said, yes, that's what I told her. And she's like, you can't do that because part of the contract is that you accommodate, and they couldn't do anything. So.
All right.
But you know what we're sad about? We watched that Tiger King. That thing was pretty. Her cat farm was pretty close to St. Petersburg. We could have just gone over there for the day.
Damn it!
You could have actually just gotten a room close by and hung out.
Wow, that's true. I didn't think about that. Tampa wasn't that far. That would have been cool if we'd have known about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard
Back before it was a thing.
Where's that damn Carol Baskins at?
Back before it was a thing.
I'm Team Joe Exotic. Here to kick your ass, Carol Baskins.
How's your impression? Your impressions are doing pretty good.
All right. Well, thanks for joining the show, Carrie, and explaining all
I was
that.
on. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure's been all
crazy.
Jason's.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he was saying that was crazy like 5 minutes ago.
What was?
Jason.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's just crazy.
Oh, I tell you.
All right, we'll catch you later.
All right. Adios. Bye.
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 F. Jason. Oh, yeah. All right. Well. Okay. Well, there you have it. Whew, wow. Let's call Tommy up. I'm sure he's waiting.
Yeah. He's over there thinking, man, this is crazy.
She didn't catch on to that. I'll explain.
I know. I just thought it would be funny. Like, I'm not really trying to be that much of an ass. I just thought I was thought of it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I got to say this because I knew you would know. When you're, what is the meme when you're on your third? That's crazy. The face you make when you're on that third. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, let's dial Tommy up here on the JConcepts hotline.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Tommy. Gotti Jr.
What's
here.
up?
What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
All right. Hope you weren't waiting too long for us.
Oh no, that's all good.
What's up, man?
How you guys doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Pretty good. Just got done playing some VRC. Working on my cars a little bit today. Otherwise, not much.
Oh, you are playing VRC, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure how effective it is in making you much better, but it's fun just to pass some time with some buddies.
Who do you play when? Who's your biggest competition?
My biggest dude, there's some pretty good people like that I don't even know from like other countries. Like I don't know if they actually race or not, but there's some people that really they make me try really hard. Like I don't win every time, so it does kind of push me to do better. And you kind of get that race, like that feeling when you're in the race, you know.
And you're just like, all right, screw this.
Yeah.
Those like I don't. Are you on the PlayStation and Xbox and stuff too?
I don't really normally play video games.
Oh.
I don't normally even play VRC
Oh, okay.
ever. Like, it's just kind of not something. Like, I'll play a game for like a couple of days and then I just get burnt out.
Okay.
So yeah, I have an Xbox, but I haven't touched it in like 2 years.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, then, anyway, all the racing games, it seems like the Europeans on the video games they're just unreal. They just blow you away. They just love racing over there. And like, if you play F1 online or something, you're going to get destroyed. I mean, absolutely destroyed. So it's probably the same thing with the VRC. You're facing guys from over in Europe and they're just good at racing games. That's what it is.
Yeah, like I think there's one guy, he was like messaging me, he's like, do you race in real life? And I'm like, yeah, I race a lot in real life. He's like, I've never even raced. And this guy was like waxing me. I was like, what the heck, man? Like, why is this guy so fast?
Right. He's probably like
the hardest thing about the game is the depth perception and like not moving your head.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like I feel like that's the hardest part about it compared to real racing.
Yeah, I've driven it a couple times at different events, and I'm just like, man, I suck at this.
It's really hard. Like at first, like I've been playing with like Austin, Wick, and Mason, and like they didn't have much like experience with the game before. Like at first they were like no good at all, but now they're like getting really quick, and like we can battle and stuff. So that's really fun. But you kind of just have to like get used to the game. It's hard to. It's just weird for a while.
Do they have tracks on there that you're familiar with, or I don't know how it works?
Yeah, they have like the Vegas Worlds is like one example of like the tracks that they have after it's all rutted out and everything. That's a track I like to run on just because it's really hard to get around in the bumps in the first place, and then you add into like a computer game that's just like. It's not as predictable, so driving good is extra hard. I feel like it's almost easier in real life to drive. Okay.
Except if you brought that guy over that was kicking your butt and you let him actually drive your car, he'd be so bad.
Yeah.
Probably.
That would actually be the ultimate test, though. It would be somebody that's only done that, and then you hand them the real thing, and they'll be like, I can't do this.
This sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty impressive, like how they drive. Like, it seems like they've driven before. Like, they have like a similar style of driving. Like, they don't drive weird or anything.
Yeah,
like it's just interesting.
Yeah, it seems like you're kind of coming in backwards to the to that racing element, but I guess at the end of the day, there's only one way to go fast, right?
Yeah, the guy's hitting really good lines all the time. He's not like, it's not just hammering everywhere and just having a good setup. I don't feel like, I don't feel like his setup can be much better. Like I've tried a lot to make this setup better. It's always pretty similar every time.
Who was telling me? I think AJ Marasco was telling me that was he on the pole at the Worlds, or he TQ'd it or something?
Dude, he ran like the novice class. Tell that guy to calm down.
Okay. Novice?
Yeah. I told him the same thing. He ran like the sportsman. He wouldn't even race me.
Okay.
I'll call him
now
out.
It's starting to make
I'll call him out.
Now it's making a little more sense.
Shout out to AJ. Love you, bud.
AJ running sportsman.
No, he is actually pretty good at the game, though, like, compared to most people. Like, he can get around pretty good. I think Brunson joins, like, our little, like, chat, but he never plays. I want to play with Brunson.
They've been playing some other video game. Like, this is all up Gotti's alley. I don't know why I'm asking these questions, but these guys, I was on their call, like, what was it, last Friday? Mm-hmm. They had their little live thing, and yeah, they've been all gaming together.
Yeah, Call of Duty Warzone. Yeah.
They're kicking Spencer's ass. Spencer's been getting pissed, he said.
Oh, I guarantee, yeah. Spencer don't want to lose. That guy's used to winning. So,
yeah,
he's probably, I'm sure he'll get good.
So let's talk about the real deal.
Well,
Real deal.
I thought we were video games.
We're gonna transition out of video games, Gotti.
All right, I guess so. But yeah, I'm just saying those people,
Hey, that
those
was a
guys.
fun start.
Yeah, those guys overseas, they're good at racing games. Period. I mean, I'm playing Mario Kart online and getting waxed by these Chinese kids. You know, they're laughing me and stuff, and they're throwing shells at me and spinning me out and everything. So I mean, I can't even win against these guys. So is what even Mario Kart. Then you go into F1 racing on PS4 online, and they're just killing you. You know, it's just crazy.
I don't think I'd even know how to hook up a PS4.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I hook this to my computer or my TV or what? Like, I'd be like looking at this thing like, is there like instructions on YouTube?
Jeez. All right. Well, you better get to what you were going to talk about there, RC. Something you know, right?
I'm just telling you, man.
That bad,
unless it's a Nintendo.
Oh, PS4 same thing. You just HDMI cord. Hook it up to your TV. That's it. And put you got your power cord. It's easy.
Easy.
You can have Fred or Paul do it for you. Anyway,
Dude, if I got hooked on video games, man, it would just be bad.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, during this quarantine, Call of Duty Warzone's really saving me. So,
is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and all my friends are able to play because they're all stuck in the house. So we're having a good time.
All your pallies.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. Let's talk about some RC racing.
All right, I'm out then.
No. You got to gather the questions. All Tom's friends have been. They all of a sudden, like 10 minutes ago, I just see these messages popping.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Oh, here's
dude,
Cole.
That's my bad.
Here's Cole. Here's this guy. I'm like, oh, these are all Tom's buddies. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh. What's up, Cole? How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, well, Gotti's looking up all the questions. We'll start. I guess we'll just say where, kind of what year you got going and what class you started in RC with, and kind of the basics, the beginning basics.
Yeah. So my first car that I ever had was a Traxxas Flash. Like I always ran like the little Toys R Us cars like throughout my childhood, I'd say. And one of my neighbors had a Traxxas, and that ended up me getting one too. And then I figured out that you could race, and I was like, dude, Dad, we have to go. And my dad was not about it, which is crazy because now he's like one of the biggest pieces in the whole program. Yeah. So like my grandma used to take me to the track because she was the only one that really wanted to like spend time doing it with me. So at first that's what I did. And my dad started to become more involved. And then my first buggy was a 22 1.0 when I was like 13, I think. And that's when I started racing stock buggy. And throughout the times, like Mason, I always raced with, like I just remember like us racing in novice at this old track we had in the mall called the Pit. And it's crazy to now how we're battling at like all these big races across like the U.S. Like I think that's so awesome. But yeah.
So even back then, so Mason was racing novice with you.
Yeah, there's videos. It's like I'll post one like next Thursday for throwback. Okay. I know there are YouTube videos of me and him like actually like getting first and second in novice. I've seen him before, like a long time ago. I'm sure I can find him.
So that's got to be really neat.
Yeah. I mean, I've been friends with the Fullers. Like Mike was one of my bigger hopes. Like earlier on, he would always make sure that I was going to finish the race, and if my car was broken and I didn't know what to do, he would always help me. So it's crazy now that like we're working together at like one of the higher levels on a race team, when then we were all doing it for a hobby. So I think that's just kind of like a cool like thing just about the Fullers and me. Like it's just like I met them and they were so nice to me and they always helped me. And then now it's like we're always helping each other, and we're battling at like in California at races and stuff like that. I just think that's crazy.
It is.
I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, that you've been kind of connected and you're kind of it's basically just like growing up with these people and racing with them and being in competition with them.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one of the stories I remember, we were at 8035 Raceway and a servo went out on my Traxxas, and I had never driven like any other car. So Mike let me use one of Mason's I think it was an SC5 from Kyosho. And I drove that thing and I could not believe how good it was. It was so stable and everything. And that's when I knew I was like, all right,
wow.
Like I'm like, I need a car that like can drive like this. And like, I think that was like my main motivation to like actually want to get better. Cause I never realized like that I was at such a disadvantage before. So definitely, Mike was one of the bigger helps and inspirations from the start and even to now. So
yeah, you were like, car's a car, and then you drove a good one, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
like I need one of these. So you had the 1.0 22, the TLR 1.0. Did you build that new? Did you buy it from somebody or?
It was right when it came out. So yeah, we got the new kit like right when it came into the shop. And that's kind of around when I was like, I think I did have a ready to run short course from Low C2. I got them around the same time. And it was like the ready to race 22 SCT. And it just had like Valenion or like the Acceleron Tronics, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah,
I think it was
that's
Dynamite.
right.
Dynamite stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And I raced those in stock. And I kind of started to get a little better. Like I had good tires and stuff. Like my dad became more involved and started to help me more. And that really helped too, just because, I was like 13. So having him to help me was important. Even now, it's nice when we're at these big races and like I'm trying to practice and he can glue a set of tires for me real quick. Like that's a big part of my program too.
So you got through the early days. You got the TLR, the 1.0. So when did you kind of make the next step, and what was the next cars you picked up after those and went to?
So I think it was probably 3 or 4 months after that. Max Vanderbeek, the regional team associate manager, he picked me up on Associated for like it was just the regional deal, and he got me he had the B4.2 and the SE 10.2 that he like didn't run anymore, that were like his old cars. And I remember driving those things, and like still to this day, when Mac let me drive his Mod 2 wheel for the first time, and I could not believe how because I'd never driven like a mod buggy or anything like that. And he's like, I'm not turning it down. Like, you're just going to drive it. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I drove it, and it was so good. The car had so much grip. He's like, I can still see your face today with how, like, your jaw was dropped and your eyes are so wide open when you came down the stand. Because, like, that was like, when I realized, like, dude, I could actually, like, really be fast.
Yeah.
Like, before,
that was a big,
just always
big eye opener.
Yeah. So after, Mac helped me there, and he was always really good at like, keeping me pushing forward and learning new things. So that was like the next like big person that helped me a lot that I really appreciate. Like, I don't think like these people that I talk about, like, I'm not sure if I could do without them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I've been really fortunate and been around the right people, and like that's like really been awesome. I'm super grateful for that.
So you did a lot of racing with the Associated stuff. You got a lot of good accomplishments regionally, and some large races too. Some great accomplishments. Kind of rounding through some of those years, do you have a few accomplishments that stick out to you that you're really proud of? And then, how were you feeling about how you were developing, I guess, as a driver and taking it more serious?
Yeah. So I feel like my time throughout Associated, I was more of like just focusing on my driving more than like actually working on my stuff. Like none of my stuff was really as good, but I was able to drive pretty good. And toward the end, like once I was able to start getting like more parts and learned how to rebuild my cars better, I'd say towards like 2017, 2018, that's when I really saw my results get a lot better. And I remember Associated race was like the first big A main I made at trackside. I believe that was, I'm not sure what year that was, but I've always really liked going there. And I'd never made the main there before, and I made it in 4-wheel and 2-wheel. And that was like pretty big for me. That was like my first like really big race I actually did good at, because I never really ran like stock a lot at any big races. So like seeing like actual success was really nice, and that kind of boosted me, I feel like, into 2019 or into 2018 and being really fast. And then at Nationals was a really good race for me. I was able to do the practice the month before, and that really helped. I was able to figure out like what I really need to do, because everybody said like Hobby Action is like one of the toughest tracks and you need to go there before. So it's really glad we were able to go there before. Parents always hooking it up with the trips. Really appreciate it. It's really nice of them to get me to all these events before. So.
And so what kind of year-wise, when were some of those, when was that good race that you had there at trackside? And
I believe that was 2017.
Okay. And what I remember about watching your racing, even as far back as when, I don't remember the first time I saw it, but it seemed like you always had speed. And that's kind of hard to, that's probably one of the harder things to get is speed. And obviously there's some people that, they really get the fundamentals down. They get how to set up your car, and they get into different things, but they can't drive. And then you got people that can drive but can't work on the cars. And then you know what I mean? Like, so then at some point, all these things have to start coming together. And then that's what really determines if you're going to have success or not. So maybe in that 2017 range, you started getting some things, maybe on that end figured out a little bit more. Yeah.
I mean, I think, my program was a lot better, especially in 2018, making the Nationals A main was really, really that was really important to me. So I would say that was my greatest result with them. Also making the Reedy race A main in 2017 and 2018 in 2-wheel. I never made it in 4-wheel. But I had lots of good races with Associated, and nothing but full appreciation for Brent and Mac and all those guys that helped me over there. I had a really good time with Associated, but been really excited with my recent program last few years with TLR.
Yeah, so you got a great opportunity with TLR. This was it 2 years ago now?
Yep.
2 years ago, got a really good opportunity to get in and kind of put you back on the same teams as you talked about earlier with the Fullers. Now you guys were back with the same teams there, and explain kind of what that transition going to TLR as a racer, I guess, or a team driver, but what that was like, and kind of everyone has a little bit of a transitional period, and maybe talk about that too, and kind of getting used to running different vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's only a few examples of like people that have changed and done really good. And one of those I think of is Mayfield when he went to TOR and he dominated CRC. And I was like, hopefully I can go there and do something like that too. I was just wasn't dialed in with the cars. I kind of just guessed with setup with what the team guys said. And I made progress throughout the weekend. I ended up finishing in the top of the Bs, mid-top Bs. So it wasn't really that bad, but just finished like getting the little quirks out. Like I had some stupid things break and stuff like that I didn't really know, or I'd screw up something on the build and be bound up or whatever. So now that we've kind of progressed with, I think, cars, team, and myself with like working on everything, that's one of the bigger things too, is ever since I've been on TOR, like instead of the driving aspect, like I'm also getting help with a lot more help with like setup and like working on cars. Like Frank and all the guys have been really helpful to me. So that's been, I think, why it's been feeling a lot better recently with TOR. You know, we've got our two wheels always been pretty good and it keeps getting better every time we go to the track. So I always like driving my two wheel, and obviously the new four wheel is really good. So my confidence is really high in my program right now, higher than it's ever been for any team I've been on. So feeling really good now after it took a while, but now that I've got everything figured out and I kind of figured out like the things that I like compared to what other people do, because I kind of like to run my own. Like I don't run far from what those guys run, but sometimes I'll run a few different things that people are like, what? Why are you doing that? And like, I just need to figure those things out that I like. And then just been pretty comfortable having base setups, just changing a few things at the big races now. It's a lot easier instead of chasing setup like I was at first.
So you made a huge trip over to Slovakia for the Worlds. I'm trying to remember. I don't believe you had run the Worlds before. I guess the other.
Nope.
So that was your first Worlds. Go to Slovakia. Just tell us what that's like. I mean, that had to be a huge deal for you. The way the international and the way Worlds races are run is always a lot different. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, the Worlds experience was awesome. I mean, I got to travel with my family to go out to Europe, and I got to see a lot of the same faces. But dude, Gotti Arena was so dialed. Like that whole place was just amazing. And I kind of liked the vibe of like what Slovakia was like. It was just, I don't know how to explain it, but it was just kind of a cool area. And I kind of liked the vibe around like the cities and stuff. And yeah, dude, I had so much fun. Like, especially getting to be involved with the four wheel, like with the new testing, like that was like something I'd never done before. So that was cool to be a part of, to like, give feedback and make sure that the car can be the best it could be for the customers. But we had a really good car at Worlds, and we didn't have like a whole bunch of time on it. I know me and Reno got the car the day before we left. So
yeah,
I never really had much time on the car, but yeah, it was working great. The four wheel especially was really good for us at the Worlds. Obviously, Dakota was absolutely flying. He's got that next level speed. Love watching that guy drive.
Yeah, it is. It was impressive, and I mean, it's hard to tell anybody what the vibe is like at these Worlds unless you've been. And
yeah, just
when because even like a Roar Nationals or a Reedy race or something like that, you look at the main guys, the Mayfields, all these guys that have been there and done that. But you can even see their level of intensity, how it has to raise at the Worlds. It's not as much of a joke anymore. They know where things are kind of at some of these other events. But even for as good as these high profile guys are, they don't know until they get up there and run that first qualifier really where they're at. And I think just that level of intensity, how tight it is, and then there's just a special feeling, especially being at Hootie Arena. That was really big, and it really gives you an appreciation for me when you're there. Just it feels like it's really means something, and the seriousness of everybody just really stands out.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of, pitting with Dakota, like, obviously I'm not going to, like, talk to him and try and, like, tell him what to do or anything, but, I could tell, like, when we're sitting in the pits on, like, especially main day, was, like, huge, dude. Like, the vibe on main day was so, like, intense, dude. That was, like, so cool. Like, I would have loved to be out there in those mains, but, dude, I would have been nervous. Like, the intensity of the whole place, dude, it was so quiet at the starts. And then if anything happened, dude, up front, it was so loud in the place. And it was, that was, like, the coolest thing I've ever done. I think I was talking about, who was I talking to this about the other day? I said the exact same thing. Like, it was just so sick to watch all those guys battle, like, at the race,
Yeah, and it's just, it has a special feeling, which is really neat. And then being in Slovakia at that Hootie Arena, which I think we all had, I mean, I know I had a ton of doubt how the race was going to be pulled off on that track. And in the end, I was like, I think this is the best Worlds I've ever been to. I mean, to me, it's your first, but I mean, for me, I don't remember how many I've been to. It's like 15 or I don't know what it is, but 15 or 18 worlds. I forget what it is, but it's like, this might be the best one I've been to. And you add in on top of that, the way it all shook down. I mean, this, and then that banquet, and man, this thing was amazing.
Yeah. I don't know how you could have a better Worlds, really. To be honest, like that, like if you think about that and you go back and look how they ran that and just how the place is, like, I thought it was super awesome. The pits looked like it was X-ray against the world, though.
It did, and it really
when we first walked in,
and to be honest, it really was.
It kind of was, yeah.
And it became
two-wheel. I feel like it was extra. Everybody was extra happy about it. Almost, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, just because, I mean, dude, him and Ongaro. That was insane, dude. Like, they were going so fast with such little grip for just lap after lap after lap. And it's like Spencer turns it on at another level of the Worlds, dude. Like, the driving that he did was like some of the best two-wheel drive driving I've ever seen in my life. Him and Ongaro were absolutely insane. They were just, in two-wheel, that was the hardest track I've ever raced on in my life. By a mile. And they made it look simple, dude.
I know.
They made it look simple. And they were just so good. Like, on the farthest left side of the track, there's like the little humps after the triples, like when it's a long sweeping corner. Dude, they're like getting so close to the pipe every time. And I know when I'm out driving out there, I'm like 4 cars off the pipe when I try to hit it tight.
Mm-hmm. Like, you're like, this lap, I'm going tight. And then you're like I'm still 4 feet off.
Yeah, it's like, I can't explain to you how far away it really was and how small your car really was on the left side, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And on the left side, too, you were almost looking like farther. You were almost looking like 45 degrees to the left because the track was almost like below the stand on the left side. So the left side of the track, when you were sending it into that 180 and then coming on the straightaway, it was kind of hard to like really nail that. But like I said, those guys made it look so easy, and that was some of the best driving I've ever seen.
So, taking that experience, and I want to say towards the tail end of four-wheel drive, and this is just going off memory, but it seemed like you were kind of picking up speed, or you had one of your better runs towards the end. I can't really remember, but it seemed like you started getting comfortable.
Yeah. So in two-wheel, I struggled at the start. Just like I would just crash too much. Like my car felt pretty easy to drive. It had a good amount of grip most of the time. But towards the end, yeah, I got a 15 in the last round of two-wheel. That was my best point in that. And that was a really good run, like really smooth and clean. It's like I almost wish I could go back and run the other 4 qualifiers I screwed up because my car felt really good when I was driving smooth and staying in the line. In four-wheel, I was more consistently like between 20th and 30th throughout the qualifiers.
Which is
so, yeah, I mean,
really good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we always want to do better no matter what place we get, at least for me. Like, I could finish like 5th at whatever race. I always want to do better, you know. So, I mean, it was really fun, and it was a really good experience, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but it was such a cool experience, and I had a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, it was just, I'm racing my RC cars across the world. Like, that's so cool just to think about to start with.
Yeah.
Like during my qualifying runs, like you almost think about how cool it is what you're doing. Like, you're like, dude, I'm in Slovakia racing at the Worlds. And like, when I think about stuff like that, it almost like gets me going more. Like, I really think I just think that's so cool. Like, I never would have thought in my whole life that I'd be traveling around going to Slovakia to race an RC car, let alone to go to Slovakia ever.
Yeah, I totally agree. So we finished that race up. The 22 X4, the new four-wheel drive car. Obviously, that was a big bright spot for you guys at the race. The car, they had to they kind of released some information. They got a little bit of bad news because it got delayed. But then we got to 2020. You got into the Reedy Race of Champions again, which is a little bit different, is because you have raced the Open, you've been in the Invitational, but now you're back in the Open class this year. So now you had a little bit of track time, you're getting adjusted a little more with the TLR stuff, and then you got the new four-wheel. Talk to us about that Reedy race and that experience.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when I ran Invitational, I was pretty new to everything, and honestly, really just didn't drive well or really gel the track very good. Like in the Invitational, I had a lot of fun running it, but whenever I have like a bad race at a track, next time I go there, I really want to do good. So I was extra motivated going into Reedy, knowing that, you know, the guys have been working really hard on both the two-wheel and the four-wheel. You know, on the cars side of things, I'm more confident. And then also in myself, you know, just running a lot with Mason and Alex Vanderbeek, Drew Ruben King, and a few other people. I think that's really good for us just because we're all pretty similar pace locally. Mm-hmm. And whenever somebody's quicker, we're always pushing to get going faster. None of us want to lose. So when we have that mentality, it really, you know, we really make ourselves go quicker. And that's super nice.
And, you know, so take us through that, you know, just kind of being able to run with the big boys at OCRC in the class, and then eventually winning four-wheel drive.
Yeah, so I mean, when you're in the Invitational, you have a whole different like respect for what the class really is, because it is like nobody's playing around, nobody's trying to give an inch. It's just a lot of it is based on luck. Like you have to manage the situations when you start in the back, and you really need to take advantage when you start up front. So it's really opportunistic, the whole race. You have to be really good at making decisions quick. I think that's the hardest thing about it. Like, that's what I noticed. Like, I watched all the videos. I remember before the invite, I watched every single round the year before. And just watching Mayfield and Cav, especially, I noticed. They would start like 10th, and nothing would even happen at the start, and all of a sudden they're in third.
I know.
And I'm like, how do they do that? And like, just watching how, like, when, like, they're committed to every decision they make. And if it's the right one, it's great. But if it's not, they're in the back. And that's just kind of what they do.
Yeah.
And I just think that's super cool. Like, it's just really hard to, you know, make those quick decisions. And that's what I think, that's what I'm going to be really focusing on when I'm at the re-race, is just really making sure that I'm not backing down to anybody, but not also being an idiot either, you know. Because, you know, I'm not going to call anybody out, but I see people that just let all the pros by that are in the invite class. And it's just like, I don't know. For me, I want to battle with them. Because if they're behind me, I'm like, all right, well, you're quicker. You got to pass me, you know.
You don't want to be a pusher.
Like, I want to race. I want to race with those boys. Like, 'cause I feel like if you just get out of the way, you're never going to really get respect from them. But if you, like, actually race them and you're not an idiot, and you, like, race them right, like, I feel like you gain more respect from them. And that's what I try and do when I race. I don't want to mix it up with anybody, really. I just want to have a clean race, and hopefully we have a fun battle. Like, especially JP Richards. Me and JP, dude, we've been having good battles this year for some reason. Like, for some reason, we've always been close to each other on the track. We're always having good battles. So, like, that's the most fun for me. So just making sure that, you know, you don't want those guys to think you're an idiot or something, because then they won't be very nice to you back. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to blame them, though. I mean, it's their job and everything, so you don't want to ruin them, because they'll make sure that you don't beat them.
That's true. So, after Reedy race, you know, things, we did the INS race at Smack Track, and, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of big stuff I think you went to after that. But, you know, give us a little bit of a update there on how things went at Smack Track. I think you had a good race there. You TQ'd around, I believe, in 4-wheel, and you had a good race. So go into that one a little bit.
Yeah. So Smack Track is always one of my, or Velocity RC, it's now called. I don't know, dude. For me, it's Smack Track. Like,
yeah, I hear you.
I can't fix it, but but yeah, Smack Track is always one of the better tracks that we go to. I feel like our tires are always the best there, so I really like going there because it's just really easy to run. Like, at least in the past, it had been like, yeah, you just kind of run the tires, keep running them, don't get much wear. But this year it was a bit harder because we weren't really sure if we were running slicks or treads. And then if you went with the slicks option and then you realized it didn't work, then you kind of didn't have any treads. And there's no practice in the mornings at that race. So the foam busters and the tire sanders and the
the foam busters,
all that stuff, dude, it was all coming out. And normally, really, I feel like normally you just do the normal tire prep there and you have pretty good grip. But we were all trying to see what was going to work. I mean, most of the races we've been to, we've ran slicks. So I know I was one of the ones that was thinking slicks were going to be better. It never really came around, and I'm like, uh-oh, like, I don't really have that many treads ready.
You're like, this was my prep.
Yeah, but thanks to Dakota for letting me use the foam buster. It's 3-dialed, and my phone's broken in. But yeah, it was good. Made a couple A mains, TQ'd around a 4-wheel. That was probably the highlight of the weekend for sure. I had some good A mains. Just, you know, racing on a tight track, it's kind of tough. Just made a few costly mistakes when I was able to move up because I started like 7th and 8th or something like that. So didn't really put myself in the best position from qualifying. But yeah, I always have a great time racing there. It's always good to see Jason, and Thomas was there too. So it's a fun race.
So we got we're getting through that. And when did you kind of start to get an idea that the racing was going to slow down here with this virus, and what have you kind of been doing since then? I guess that's kind of where we started. But
yeah, I mean, I think after Desert Classic was kind of when I started to see it on the news and everything. I was like, dude, this is so hurting. Like, I don't think we're going to be racing, because I was excited for Silver State and races like that. So
yeah,
now we've just been chilling at home. Brad Horsch, the owner of our 10 scale track, he has a nice property at his house. He has a dirt bike track out there, and he was nice enough to build a stand and a track for us for 8 scale.
Okay.
So we've been driving out there and just running some nitro. Got my new Ultimate engines in the cars, and just been trying to get my nitro program dialed in. Like, I really just haven't had a lot of time to ever practice. So to get a track that's within 2.5 hours, it's only 20 minutes away now. So it's really easy to go over there and just test stuff real quick and, really learn what you like for like the engine tuning and what it needs to sound like. I feel like what I picked up from people when I asked them about tuning is you kind of have to, some stuff, but then the other stuff is just knowing what it sounds like. So I kind of started to figure out what it should be like and just focusing on keeping the car together too.
And then you've been doing where we kind of started. We started off with the VRC. You've been doing a little bit of that, and then going out and you've gotten some running at this nitro facility. And then are you doing wrenching as well?
Yeah. Yep. All the cars look really nice. I'm just looking at them pretty much. They look so cool.
So you're all prepped and ready. I saw that you got some fresh bodies the other day, right?
Yep. Genova with the fresh bodies. Garrison with the stickers. Always making me look dialed. Appreciate those guys.
So now we're kind of... everyone's kind of in that waiting period. Gotti and I were talking about earlier. You can see people are starting to get a little bit itchy. They're kind of wanting to be over all this already. Getting to the end of April here, I think, is probably the run, I would say. And then people are going to probably start to throw caution into the wind a little more. It seems like they're just going to be like, you know what, I'm done. I want to just move on. When do you think when's our first big race, you think? That should be the new new question. When's our first big race going to be?
Yeah. I hope it's not that long. I hope it's like, I want to run 8 scale Nats. I hope we could do it for 8 scale Nats, but I don't know what I actually think, if I think we're going to be able to get it by then. I have my doubts, but I want to run Nitro Nats.
I think that's going to be our first big race back, the field Nats.
I hope so.
That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Which, it'll be interesting because we'll all be, I'm not really sure what the right word. It's going to be weird because I think it's going to be like, if that is a race that we can make and we're all there, it might feel a little weird. It's going to have a little bit of a strange vibe at first because everyone's going to.
Yeah, it could be more. I feel like it could be more of a serious vibe.
It might be because everyone's going to be like, all right, I'm ready to get back into this stuff.
And nobody's going to be playing. So there's always more and more fast people every year. So everybody's going to have to be on it. I know a lot of people that have been prepping and running, just been like I said before, running with Mason and Alex, we've been all running our nitro cars. So fun, dude. Like, it's just good to get practice. We can help each other out if one of us is struggling. And we're all friends. It's good to go out there and have fun and drive your cars. You know, we're all trying to make it to the next level, so we're having fun, but we're also not playing around. We're trying to make sure that we're improving and learning.
We got Gotti was going through the questions here, trying to give us a little bit of an idea of what kind of questions we got going here. Just kind of starting at the top, we had Will Britton. Everybody knows Will, Papa Wheelie.
Yes, sir.
We got
A man with too much power.
That's right. Do you remember the last time I out-qualified you in four-wheel? That was awesome.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah. We regionals. I have the first place trophy, Will.
Oh.
See it. It's at my house. But yeah, no. Will out-qualified me. He did, fair and square. That man. He did. But I got him in the main. But yep, all up for Will. It's my boy from Omaha. Can't wait to see you at one of the races soon.
We got Corey Richardson, kind of obviously a big push, a big positive for you guys. He said being in your second year, what has been the biggest help getting you to the next level, which, you know, I think you talked about that already a little bit, but you can kind of touch on it again.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I have on TLR, like, I'm not trying to dog on any of the other brands that I race for, but I feel like for me, it's the best fit with like the people, you know. I feel like I'm learning in a better way, not just like going fast or being good at racing, being good at life in general, and just, you know, being a good person at the track too. And also, you know, maintenance and stuff like that. Like Frank, you know, he sat down and taught me how to, like, the first time he ever did that was the 22-4. We were practicing for Reedy race. I didn't know how to work on my front diff, and he just sat me down and really helped me with that. And like before, like in 2018 and 2017, like I really didn't have much of that. Like when I first was on the regional team, like Mac was really good about, you know, helping me. And if, you know, he thought there was like a new cool setup thing, like he would have me try it and see what I thought. So like, that's just testing I never would have done. So I think that's been the biggest improvement for me, is just the people I'm working around. I really like Charlie, Aaron, you know, Frank, Dakota, all Mason, all the Fullers, all the team I really like. So I just think it's a better vibe around the team. You know, I feel like we work together better than most. So that's been the biggest positive for me, I think. Just the confidence mentally is a big deal. Barry helped me with that at Reedy Race, keeping me mentally calm. You know, gave me some tips, and, you know, having someone to give you that confidence, like, hey, like, you can do it. Like, look what you just did. Like, there's no reason you can't win. And just having somebody that, like, telling you that is really, really important. Because, you know, I mean, my dad's, you know, he's going to tell me, he's like, yeah, dude, you're, like, going to win. Like, you're awesome. Like, that's what he's supposed to do. But to have somebody that's, like, genuinely believes in you and really wants you to do well, that's what I really like. That's important for me.
So we got Mike to talk it. He was, you know, just kind of a general, what's the biggest challenge of becoming a top level driver, and who's your favorite to race with?
The hardest part, being on it every weekend you go to the track. Like, just how Spencer and Mayfield and Dakota and all these guys go to the track, and they're always fast every time, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, that's the hardest thing, you know. Like, there's some times where I have the pace, like the speed, like you were saying earlier, Jason, but, putting it all together in that 5-minute run and not making those little tight touches and stuff like that. Like, that's just stuff those guys don't do on their perfect runs.
Yeah.
In my, what are so-called perfect runs, I touch tubes and stuff. Like, they just, on their best runs, dude, they are so flawless. It's just like really little details I feel like they're better at than like people like me,
Okay. And then,
but yeah,
he's asking,
my favorite person.
Yep. To race with, I guess.
I'd say I have my two favorite pros are probably, Tebow is, I've been able to race with him and test with him a lot. I'm glad he's feeling better, but yeah, he's probably one of my favorite people just because he's willing to race with me and, give me ideas and, we practice, and to see somebody like that drive so good. Like, I remember the first time I went to Fastlane. This is the first time I ever saw a pro driver drive, dude. So I'm watching Jared. I remember I was marshaling on the track and there was this double right in the middle of the track, and there's like a 45-degree like landing after it. So it was like he was just barely, like, people would send it and whip their cars so hard, and like they would just squid out and crash. And like he wasn't even barely whipping at all. He was just doing little like adjustments in the air. And I swear to you, he landed in the same spot, like 3 inches from the pipe every lap.
Wow.
The exact same spot. And I was just like, dude, like that's when I first was like, that's what a pro RC driver does.
I would have been like, all right, I'm done. I can't compete.
Yeah. I'm like, dude. I don't even know if I've ever told Jared that. I don't think so. But I remember that first time I went to Fastlane, I was like, dude, like, I couldn't believe how fast he was going. But yeah, he's definitely somebody I look up to. Also Dakota, I feel like I didn't know him as much like at the start of last year, but now that I've like bonded with him more, especially after Worlds, I feel like he's really helpful to me too. Like, I'll ask him about stuff and he's always really good at, helping me and giving me advice. So that's probably my other person that I like to race with.
We're here on Chili Duncan's comment and question, which was, what happened to Carol Baskin's second husband?
All right. So my parents have been watching this. I've been watching it on and off.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't really, here's the thing, dude. I'm not like fully into it. I'm not sure. She probably did do it though. I don't know.
What episode are you on?
She did it. I think they're done with it now.
Oh, they're done with it? You finished them all?
Yeah. Yeah. I screwed up and didn't watch them all. I'm an idiot. I don't think I got invited for the first like 3 episodes, but I'm probably going to get, like, hey, why are you calling us out on the RIP podcast?
Right.
It'll be okay. They'll laugh at it.
Yeah. Did you guys see Mike Saunders' question? Or he said he got Carson's Mini T fixed, and he's really happy for you. You're a great kid, and his 4-year-old looks up to you.
I'm sorry, Carson. I broke Carson's Mini T, dude.
Oh. He
went out there on the track and put it down on right before a jump. I didn't see it, and I smashed it. I'm sorry, Carson.
Damn.
But that's good you got it fixed, Mike. I'm sorry, I can't see. But yeah, I always enjoy hanging out with Carson. Carson's super cool, man. He's always over there asking me what I'm doing. So yeah, I always enjoy hanging out with him and Mike. And yeah, Sanders definitely did help me a lot in the past at Hobby Haven when I used to race there. Like when I had my Traxxas and stuff, he would help me out a lot. So, yeah, we bought the Traxxas from there. We did.
Nice.
What? Let's see. So John Bolton's just kind of going in, and he was, being complimentary. He was asking about the worlds, which we kind of went over. He was just commenting that he thinks that appears that you are willing to race on just about any surface, which he thinks is a benefit. Maybe you could touch on that a little bit.
I think, I race on dirt most of the time. I've done a little bit of carpet, but I would like to do more. Like, I just really haven't had like a car ready for it. I'm too lazy to switch it over from dirt setup and then switch it back. So I've just been running dirt because that's what all the big races I go to are. But yeah, I think carpet's going to be more important now. I think there's going to be more big races. So I definitely need to get on the carpet soon.
Make sure we get John was all got his answers. Gotti, did you check out Joe's question about you gave him the no toss backs, but
that no toss backs, sorry.
Okay, all right. Come on. Chris Trudeau, I believe, is how
I probably would go with Joe's answer though, because good Lord.
Yeah, you're probably right. There's a couple I can think of.
Right.
For sure. Okay, Chris Trudeau, RC maintenance task you dislike the most?
Probably building turnbuckles.
Okay.
Those are the worst. Those are the hard. I mean, they're not that bad, but they just take time. I don't know. I feel like everything's pretty easy to work on now.
So what? How about the maintenance task that you find is the easiest? I guess.
I feel like just rebuilding diffs is like ball diffs. I've always ran 10 scale.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of those. So that's pretty like in nature for me to do. So ball diffs and gear diffs are pretty easy to work on too. So those are, I'd say the ball diffs is the easiest for me to do.
We got Corey Jordan, who's always doing that left tire salute for us, right, Gotti?
That's right, on YouTube.
Why RC over football or baseball? And basketball.
I'm not.
And basketball.
And basketball. Well, I'm not athletically inclined. Like I play tennis. I used to play for the high school team, and I also used to skateboard and ride my scooter a lot. That was something I did like when I was younger. And now I really don't get out that much. I work on my cars and stuff. I need to start working out or something, because I'm gonna start getting fat.
That doesn't happen until you're like in your 30s.
Yeah,
honestly.
you don't have to worry yet.
Sweet.
So you got
No, but yeah, I mean.
So we got John back, and he's asking John Bolton, has your dad ever felt the urge to race?
Has he ever? I think we had him race one time, and I don't think he's ever gonna hit the track again.
Okay.
So, he doesn't really. I don't think he ever really wants to race. I think he just likes to watch me race.
We got Zeke Bollinger. He's wondering, he's like, do you remember every time Will got beat by an armless guy?
No, he did not say that. He really
did. Yeah.
Oh, that's dirty. Zeke's always popping off with the jokes, man. He gets me too good.
We got one here. I won't even let you answer that.
Yeah, no comment on that.
Got a question here from Kirby Hand. He was asking about, he noticed at the indoor national race there at Smack Track, he had Nick Mulatto there. Has Nick been a big help to you guys on the TLR spectrum side of things? What's going on with Nick?
Yeah. So for this year, I'm doing the servos and the batteries. So with the batteries now, and like having the servos and the batteries, to have Nick there with products and stuff to make, and he's always making sure that like my servos are working and that my batteries aren't bad. He's always giving me new ones, making sure that we aren't having any issues. And yeah, he's always a really big help. He's always there for all the team to help us. He's made some cool little stuff too, like this servo mount for our 2-wheel and our 4-wheel. It's actually like integrated into the servo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a little piece you could slide in there, and it's a lot lighter than like a normal setup. So he's like everything was good before, but now we have like some more new cool things that he's made, and now we have the charger, all of that stuff.
So now we're getting into Cole Hendrickson is asking why you like rocks so much.
Why do I like rocks?
Yeah.
Well, Cole keeps a collection, in case anyone was wondering.
Okay.
I don't really understand the question very much, but yeah, I like rocks a lot. His rock collection's pretty cool. Ask him about it sometime.
Okay.
All right.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, so Rod Case is saying that he heard a nickname was Turbo Tom, but
I think that originated from David Peebler.
Okay.
From Blue Groove. I feel like he's the main guy that's told me that, and that's like one of Rod's good friends. So yeah, shout out to those guys from
Turbo Tom
over in Corning, Iowa. Cole and Peebler and all those dudes. Miss seeing you guys around club racing. Can't wait till we're back because this stuff's hurting.
And what's funny about it is he says, miss seeing you at the track, was looking forward to hitting Clay back up till this beer virus hit.
yeah, Rod pops the jokes, man. He's a funny guy for sure.
I can't believe Kirby hasn't come up with this beer virus yet. Okay, so we got I've seen quite a few of these and I've witnessed them. I've gotten them. When Rupp, maybe it's Ian Rupp, is that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got it backwards here. But when do I get that crispy high five from you?
I assume that's because I talked him into getting a 4-wheel, and he drove it the other day and said it's really dialed. So whenever next time I see you and we don't have to stay away 6 feet away from each other, then we can.
Okay. Long distance. Yep. Okay. What's the most insane thing you've done since you've been signed to TLR? I don't really know how that's supposed to.
Who said that?
The same guy, Ian Rupp. He's like, what's the most insane thing
Ian Rupp? Ian Rupp, what are you doing to me right now? You're putting me on the spot.
Great whips.
Yeah, sick whips.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Austin Schwent. Is that his last name? He wants your first impression of the 22X4, which we kind of talked about, when your experience at the World, you talked about in the Reedy race, and but now the kit is out. Have you built a new kit yet, or he's just kind of asking from seeing it, building one, driving one? What's your overall impression? I mean, we know it's good, but
Yeah. So the car for me was, at World was my second time driving it. I drove it for like 3 packs at home, and I went to the Worlds, and like first time I went on the track, I was like I just couldn't believe how much corner speed I could carry. Like, I could even tell, like, on the lowest grip surface, like, just how good the car really was, and, like, how the balance, like, just the balance of the car is gotta be perfect. Like, there's something about it that I think everybody really likes. But yeah, so after Reedy race, I shelved the Reedy car, and I built a whole new car, and the build for me has been good. I know on like the most recent kits, there's been the insert into the ring gear has been a little tight for the outdrives. But if you take a .199 drill bit and run it through with your hand, it's super free and it only takes like 2 minutes. So that's a build tip for anybody that has some of those are a little bound up. Just the plastic tolerances with, you know, the moisture in the air and the humidity of where it was made kind of changes that stuff. So some of them are free and some of them aren't. So .199 drill bit's the way to go. Jason Snyder, shout out to him for that one.
.119.
Mm-hmm.
We had a question for me from Pete Phillips was asking, and then you can maybe Tom has heard of something, and we saw that this video with Mayfield kind of playing with a speedrun car. Have you ever thought about building a speedrun, or know anybody else has a speedrun car?
I believe there's like a drag racing group around here. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's about, but I know they go out to certain places that they're able to rent out, and they go out there and they just do heads-up races, and it's like a 16th of a mile or something. And they're going like 100 miles an hour or something crazy. Somebody was telling me that at the track a while ago. I've never seen it, but I heard it's pretty cool. But yeah, and I think the Mayfield thing looks badass. I like that. The body is so cool. The long S15, is that what it's called?
Yep. The stretcher.
The stretcher. Yeah, that's cool, dude. What is it? It's a truggy chassis, right? And then it just has a buggy front clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
So we got.
I would make something like that if I had like another car or something.
You needed a car, a donor.
Yeah.
So we got Johnny Finley asking what your plans are for the future, college, work, full run at RC. What's the plan?
Yeah. So right now, I'm just gonna try and focus on RC for the most part. I just got actually signed on with DoorDash, and I do that sometimes when I'm bored now.
Okay.
I can get like up to like $25 an hour doing it, and it's so easy. So
you go and pick up people's food? You go pick up people's food and bring it to them, huh?
Yeah, and then you're nice, and you get a good rating, and then they give you a nice tip, and then you're chilling. People have been giving me good tips. Like today, I went out there for 2 hours, and I was able to make like $50.
Wow.
So I was like, that's something I've been doing. But yeah, really, I want to focus on RC to be able to, make it to the next level, because I definitely want to do college either way, if I'm pro or not, but definitely want to try and focus to the end of the year to try and be the best I can be.
I think what would be funny is if it's with the DoorDash, people don't come into your car, but if you were like an Uber driver or something, you could have like your Reedy Race trophy in the passenger seat with your car, and you would like drive people around, and when they could ask you questions about it and stuff. You could just
that would be funny, actually.
Ask all, you talk all serious and.
Yeah, I'm a professional F1 racer, dude. You can't bring the car though, because then if it's like some hot chick or something, then they'll be like,
girls.
Yeah.
One thing I have noticed about Tom Gotti, you'd be proud. He doesn't miss when there's any let's say, cute girls around.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You're well aware of your surroundings, I will say.
I suppose you could say that. Yeah.
You got any? I guess that's a good question. You got any girlfriends or anything like that?
Not at the moment. No.
All
Just
right,
chilling.
It's good to hear that he would kick the RC car to the side for a hot chick.
Yeah. He's not going to put his Reedy car in his Uber for the fear of giving a hot chick a.
No, well, you can take it back. You can just leave it out, but then if you're like, oh shoot, like they're walking over, and then you gotta maybe stash it. But actually, if it's not worth it, if they don't like it, then just kick them out.
Well, you could say, hey, this isn't my stuff in here. Like we kind of
it's Jason
share
Rona's.
cars. We share cars. Yeah, we share cars, and this is just some other guy's stuff. Like, let's see, what does it say on here? Oh, Reedy. Yeah, Reedy race champ. This guy's a nerd. No big deal. So we got Ryan asking most memorable race that you've had. I mean, obviously, I think we kind of went over a couple of them. You got the tons of crispy high fives and hugs after that Reedy race win. That's got to be one of them, I would imagine.
Yeah, that was it was pretty cool. It's like, I don't know. The moment was pretty crazy. Like, I didn't really think about it until I tried my best to not think about it until I crossed the line. So when everybody was swarming me, like, I didn't even have time to think. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of like taking it all in. And then I had Charlie come over. He was all happy for me and stuff, and that was pretty cool. And my dad too, kind of running up on the stand. I'm like, what a clown. Should have just waited for me to get down to the bottom. But no, that's a super cool video. And last time I watched it, definitely gave me goosebumps for sure. It's really cool. So that's definitely my favorite moment.
The part that I kind of remember is your dad kind of jumped on the straightaway to come towards the driver's stand, and I think like not all the cars were done yet, and I can't remember if he had to dodge one or like there was something that kind of happened.
He almost jumped out in front of it, I think. Like on the straightaway, he almost jumped out too early.
Yeah.
Imagine that, dude.
Gets taken down by a car, not cross the line. Yeah.
That would have been a good story, actually. He's got the good reflexes, I guess.
Oh man, he got up there quick though.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, it was super sweet. So yeah, I just remember before the race, Ron Sure comes up to me, looks at me, and he's just like, "All right, champ, go get her done." And he just gave me that smile, like, "You got this, dog." And I was like, "Sweet." I just remember that. That's just one of the things I remember. I don't know why.
What's weird is everybody has, what I've noticed is everybody has a different, I don't know what the right wording is, but what they want to be told prior to, big moments or pressure situations and that type of thing. And it's strange that everybody kind of has something that they're looking for that's a little bit different. And, I think that it's interesting to me, when I go to all these races, and you kind of have to adjust to how, everyone's individual personality and how they like to see and how they take the pressure differently and what type of motivation they're looking for. And and that was nice that you were able to kind of turn that into a positive for you. My experience has always been a little bit different with some guys where I'm always don't really know that if you just want to rush up to them and tell them how great they are and you got this covered and you're the man, do they want everybody, it's like, I've always kind of been, I've heard Mayfield say before people say something to him, he's like, I haven't done anything cool yet. Why are you talking to me? it's like, wait till I do something cool, then come talk to me. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, and
Mayfield on the hobby wing side, he's been a really good help to me.
Okay.
I remember at a CRC, he flagged me down, called me some names, and was like, we need to fix your ESC settings.
Okay.
And he kind of, he rolled me through it and, explained to me a few things I didn't understand. And now I feel like my ESC program is extra good. So, I mean, obviously Ron has been a great help. It's always a great help for tuning and stuff, but I really liked Mayfield's bass, and he came out of his way to be like, hey, like, you got to fix this out. So I thought that was really cool.
It is. Yeah. And it's nice. It's good to have. I mean, that's where you see it's nice to have some of these teammates, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I feel like there's both sides of it. Like, there's always going to be weekends where, sometimes somebody else is going to find out something better. But when you find out that thing that's better, and then you can like tell them and give it back, like that's something I like doing too. Like, some people have helped me so much, and then like I'm not really able to like help them much back. So, just trying to test on my own too, and keep progressing, keep trying stuff. It's something I'm always trying to do. Because, I want to, like, following those guys is great, but, you want to know for yourself what you really like. Because at the end of the day, those are Mayfield settings, not mine. So,
yeah. That is good information. So, quickly here, give a couple, just a few tips on, somebody that's started like yourself, Traxxas Slash, getting into it, and then, anything that you've learned along the line that, somebody getting going in RC, the path that they should take to get better and to get, closer to the position you're in, where you're, you've won the Reedy race now and open class and that type of thing.
Yeah. So one of the things, is just obviously, the most basic one you're going to hear from everybody is to really go out there and just have fun and not really focus on like, don't have your goals as like a sponsorship or anything like that. Have it as like race results or bettering yourself, not like I want a sponsorship. To be honest, I didn't even know that you could get sponsored in RC when I got on Associated. So if that tells anybody anything, you kind of just need to go out there and have fun. And, if you're really wanting to put in the work, like, you've got to go practice. Like, at the end of the day, if you can have all of your stuff prep as good as you want, but if you're not like going and practicing and testing stuff, like, you will fall behind, or you won't be quick at all to start with. So that's probably my main thing. Second thing is probably just to, I don't know, not really worry about fully the setup of the car. Like, when you first start, just focus on staying in the middle of the track and just making sure that you know how to make sure that your car is going to finish the 5-minute run. Not focusing on like little setup changes that really, honestly, before I ever got an Associate, I never ran anything different than a kit setup on any car. I don't even think we knew what endpoints were before I got on. Like, dude, I we didn't know much at all. So if you can, go out there, and if you have somebody to help you too, that's really great. Like, there's no reason, like, I was a novice for almost 2 years. There's no reason that not anybody could be pro, You just really have to have it and the drive.
Yeah.
You just have to have the talent to do it. But you also have to have the motivation to get up and do this, like, working on your stuff. Like, maybe that's not what you like doing as much. Like, I don't hate working on my cars or anything, but I'd much rather drive. But really, just like for me, just making sure that I'm motivated to work on my stuff and to go to the track and to get better. That's really the mentality you have to have. Not like, I want a sponsorship and that's why I want to get better. Because then it's no point. So that's probably the two biggest things for me, I say. They kind of mix into each other, but.
Okay. I mean, that makes total sense. And why don't we let you give a shout out here to your sponsors and then your supporters and family, friends?
Yeah. So I'd like to shout out TLR, Hobby Wing, JConcepts, Boom RC, Spectrum, Ultimate Engines, and Beach RC, and also the RC Compound and / Brad Horsch for the tracks, both 10 scale and 8 scale. He's pretty much made Iowa racing happen. So we all, besides me, we all really appreciate all of the work and money that he's put into the track, and just the fact that he makes a track just for the Fullers and Ruona is just such a nice thing to do, and we really appreciate that. So that's one of my bigger shout outs for sure. It's just because for a while there, we were stuck. We didn't have a track, really. Mm-hmm. So we couldn't practice, but he's really been able to give us a place to practice that we can go to a lot. And I think that's, me, Mason Fuller, Alex Vanderbeek, Drew Ruben King when he can race. Like, I feel like we've all gotten so much better just because we've been able to practice and push each other. Without that track, we wouldn't be able to. So, and all of our sponsors, sponsors are really, they put a lot of money into us, and we really appreciate it. So the least we can do is try our best and keep our heads high at the track.
How about to the any friends or family out there?
Shout out to my mom and dad and my grandma for fueling my racing for so long. Even now, they're still spending money to help me get to these places. Hopefully I can pay you back someday, because I really appreciate it. And of course, I have a lot of friends out there, so I'll just shout out to all of them. Shout out to the VRC boys I've been playing with, and shout out to all the guys I normally see weekly and I can't. So I'm excited to get back racing, and I hope everybody's staying safe.
Perfect. Appreciate you being on and just giving us all that input. I mean, definitely, for your age, you're definitely doing really well, super professional, and you have a good time out there, which is definitely been very refreshing to see. And you and your crew, you're a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're just going out there, having fun, and just trying to improve ourselves. That's the main thing, main goals. So, yeah, really appreciate you guys having me on here. I was stoked when I got the message from Jason, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
No problem. Well, stay in touch. Obviously, if you need anything from me, always let me know. Just shoot me a message or anything, and we'll get it going.
Of course. Yes, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Tom, thanks.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Good kid. Seems like a good kid there, huh?
He is very good talker. He's positive, and he's always got a good family out at the races with him, as he talked about. And I mean, it's been nice having them at the races and being in the RC right now. I mean, just kind of representing a new, almost the next generation of racers in a way. I mean, not just him, but there's several kids. He talked about Mike Fuller, which is Mason and Caden's dad, who they're all part of this next generation of racers too, and fast kids.
Okay, well, we appreciate Tommy being on the show. I call him Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy. Great movie. Great movie.
It is. I hope you've seen the movie.
Gotta see it. And that was episode 209.
We're just clicking them off now again.
Well, and we got messages from people appreciating that we're doing the podcast more often, especially of everybody being quarantined. They're enjoying the shows. Mm-hmm. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, we enjoy doing them too, so it's nice to be...
It's fun.
It's fun.
All right, guys, we will catch you on the next episode. Stay safe, everyone. And we'll be back to normal soon. Well, society will. I won't be, though.
Yeah, you'll never be normal.
No. All right, guys, we'll see you.
Later.
Yes, you put it succinctly.
Suck what?
Succinctly, it means perfectly.
Oh, yeah. May I do that?